All right, let's get right into it. We're talking about something ancient, a technique that's been around for 2,500 years, rediscovered by a man you might know as the Buddha. And the promise here is, well, it's huge, a way out of all suffering. And get this, it's not a religion, not some empty ritual. It's described as a pure science of the mind.
So right from the get-go, the journey starts with this, honestly, a pretty radical instruction from the Buddha himself. He's not asking you to just believe him. No blind faith here. In fact, it's the total opposite. He's basically saying, hey, don't take my word for it. You have to go experience this for yourself. See if it's true.
And that right there, that sets up the big question for us, doesn't it? What on earth did he discover? What was this truth that he was so sure anyone could find for themselves? Something so powerful, it could literally transform your reality from the inside out. Now, to even begin to answer that, we can't just talk about theories. We have to see how this is actually done today.
So let's step inside. Let's see how this ancient science is practiced now. And it all happens in a place that's best described as an operating theater for your own mind. It's an intense 10-day retreat. And make no mistake, it's designed to be an ordeal. That's the point.
Okay, so before you can even learn the secret, you have to agree to the rules, and they are intense. For 10 straight days, you take a vow of noble silence. That means no talking, no gestures, no eye contact, no phones, no reading, no writing, nothing. Every single external distraction is just gone. The idea is to completely isolate you, not from the world, but from your own habits, your own reactions.
And this quote, man, it just nails the first big challenge. You'd think the silence would be the hard part, right? Wrong. The real enemy, the real battle, is the storm that the silence unleashes inside your own head. With nothing coming in from the outside, your mind just starts to boil over. A simple gong at 4 in the morning suddenly feels like a personal attack, and that's when you see it, just how unbelievably reactive you are.
So, after days and days of this mental civil war, just wrestling with your own restless mind, you finally get a clue. A faint one, but it's there. And the secret, it's not some magic chant. It's not about visualizing some happy place. It's not about adding anything. The real path is about something much simpler. Just pure, direct observation of what's already happening.
And here it is, the answer. The technique is called Vipassana, and it's a 2-step process. For the first 3 days, you do something called Anapana. All you do is watch your breath. Just the natural breath in and out. That's it. The goal is to sharpen your mind, to make it like a laser pointer. Then, once your mind is sharp, you begin Vipassana itself. You use that focus to slowly scan your body from head to toe and just observe. Observe any sensation you feel, heat, a tingle, an ache, whatever, without reacting, just watching.
But wait a second. That's it? Watching an itch on your nose? That's the grand secret to ending all suffering? I mean, it sounds almost too simple, right? A little boring even. How in the world does that lead to liberation? Well, the real magic isn't the sensation itself. It's in the tiny little gap between the sensation and how you respond to it.
Okay, so this brings us to a really important word from the ancient Pali language, sankhara. Here's the core idea. Our suffering doesn't actually come from bad things happening to us. It comes from our reaction to the physical sensations those things create in our bodies. Think about it. Something pleasant happens, a nice sensation arises, and boom, we crave more. Something unpleasant happens, a painful sensation arises, and boom, we push it away. That automatic blind reaction of craving or aversion, that is the sankhara. And that, the teaching says, is the real root of all our misery.
So by just watching these sensations without freaking out, you start to break the habit. You stop creating new reactions, and the old ones, they start to bubble up and dissolve. Your mind gets cleaner, clearer, it gets purified. But here's where things get really interesting. Ancient traditions say that as you clear away all that mental static, something else can happen. A powerful, dormant energy that was there all along can finally wake up.
And this energy has a name, Kundalini. It's often pictured as a coiled serpent, sleeping at the base of the spine. It's said to be our primal life force, the raw, untamed energy of consciousness itself. And for most of us, it's completely dormant, asleep. But a practice as intense as this deep, non-stop observation, well, it can create just the right conditions for that serpent to awaken and begin to rise. So you can see the difference here, and it's fascinating. Vipassana is all about subtraction. It's a methodical cleaning process, just getting rid of all those old deep-seated reactions. But a Kundalini awakening, that's often described as the total opposite, an explosive, additive experience. It's not about getting calm. It's about a massive surge of energy that can completely, and sometimes pretty violently, shift your entire reality.
And when this energy actually wakes up, we're not talking about just feeling a little bit better or calmer. No. People who go through this report real, tangible, life-altering changes. Changes to their abilities, to how they see the world, to their very sense of who they are.
I mean, just look at this. The effects people report are, well, they're mind-blowing. We're talking about psychic abilities popping up, clairvoyance, telepathy, physical changes like sudden healing abilities or way more energy, a huge surge in creativity. But, and this is a huge but, look at that last point. It's a double-edged sword. If this powerful energy isn't handled correctly, it can also trigger intense anxiety, even depression. This is not a game.
Okay, so before we get totally carried away with serpent power and psychic abilities, let's bring it back to ground level for a second. Let's look at the basic practice of Vipassana. Because even without any of the wild stuff, the science is pretty clear. This one study tracked people on a 10-day course. Before they started, their average anxiety score was a 10. After just 10 days of silence and observation, it dropped to 3.29. That's a massive drop. It just goes to show you the raw power of this simple technique.
All right, so we've got the theories, we've got the data, we've got the technique, but what does it actually feel like to go through this? What's the raw human, in-the-trenches experience of digging this deep inside yourself?
Well, for a lot of people, it starts like this. Pure mental torture. You get trapped in these loops of shame, of blame. The silence just makes it all louder. It's like your mind becomes a prison, and it just spins faster and faster, replaying every dumb thing you've ever done, every fear you've ever had. It is, without a doubt, an ordeal.
But if you can stick with it, if you can just keep watching, keep observing without getting swept away, eventually the storm breaks. And what you find on the other side is a state they call samadhi, this feeling of incredible peace, unity, and just bliss. I love how the yogi Paramhansa Yogananda puts it. He says it's like the whole storm of illusion is just stilled, revealing this amazing, divine reality that was hidden underneath the whole time. So you have this whole path, right? You start with the painstaking work of Vipassana, cleaning house. That might lead to the explosive awakening of Kundalini. You experience states of samadhi. And it's all pointing toward one thing, one final stage. Some call it the flowering of human consciousness, the end of the line. The original word for this is nibbana. You've probably heard its Sanskrit version, nirvana. And the literal meaning is just so perfect. It means the extinction of burning. And that's key. It's not about you being extinguished. It's about putting out the fires of suffering. That constant, exhausting burn of wanting this, not wanting that, that's what goes out.
And that's the ultimate question, isn't it? The one this whole journey leaves you with. Once the burning stops, once you put out those fires of reaction, once the illusion of being this separate little me dissolves, and all that struggle and suffering is just gone, what's left? What remains when a mind is finally, totally, and completely free?